Forward-thinking poetry. A reading of poems I've not performed before, including a couple of old friends and faces I've met in my time. I start with an invitation to share this space. It's a short poem inspired by a sign offering equal access to everybody on a shared path between Dartington and Totnes. Share this space is no disgrace to remove all known barriers. Walk the walk, share your talk for access in all areas. Right, I would now like to introduce you to Martin. Martin and I attended special school together. Martin was a stammerer. He introduced me to the concept of syllabic speech, and I will demonstrate how in this poem. Needless to say, it didn't help Martin. Martin, hi everybody. Come say hello to Martin. Ask him about today's weather. Ask him about time. Martin never answers. He just stands there jabbing. Biff, bang, pow. Harry jabbing his own arm, southpaw style. You just know later he will be out headbutting cars. Martin screwed down tight, greasy air patted to his skin, top button closed. He never wears t-shirts. He never wears shorts. He's not going to tell you how hot it's been today. Martin, he smells of Martin. Stand beside big fat Martin. Feel his pockets, filch his chips, crush his crisp. Every cavity full, satchel, sports bag, bedside cabinet, sweets and savouries. Feel him grab hold of your cuffs sometimes. Feel him holding on, wanting to know the world is still spinning around, or at best for him it might have stopped. His dog ripped his shirt once. I saw his blue, black, yellow, red and purple of his flabby biceps. He covered up quick. There is nothing you need to know, and you will never hear Martin say that it's been a good day, or at the third beep it will be 8:05. Beep, beep, beep. Right, inside our institutions we recognised differences, the difference between us and them. This is called our diet, compared with the diet for getting fat, tripe, brains, battered spam. I'm thinking about school dinners, I am. Jam, treacle, sweet with flour, served up every half an hour. Batty, Pinder, teacher man, get the cheeses, Brie, Stilton, Fancy Dan. Chips, sausages, Wednesday's opaque, day centre rote, prescribes stomachache, cake, half-baked, for service users. Staff do better, they're never losers, not with their cash, soft jobs, money in bank. We eat bad food, we never pulled rank. Dishes, hot, cold, whenever served, you know who's best. Right, and who comes off worse. And so I met Martin, and later I went to another special school. I was about 10 years old, and I was told I had to attend the Saturday night residential school dance, and this is where I met Clubfoot. Clubfoot We danced to music once. I held your waist. I felt your strangeness. Clubfoot, I cannot remember any tune, but I know that room, and I know all of the hopeful faces watching us. Clubfoot, it wasn't you but me who could not stand the strangeness or the attention we were receiving. Clubfoot, I'm sorry I did not know the mods would stop marching. Clubfoot, I'm still racked with guilt all these years on for not facing threats or for accepting your invitation to a dance. Sometimes as activists and advocates, we tire of saying the same things over and over and over again. This one's called Hit Head Bang Wall. Hit Head Bang Wall. There is no music like punk for repetition. No future, no future, want it, future. Sing it, chant it, demand it. Join in the unclear chorus sung by all birds singing for their supper. Hit head, bang wall. You bring no music here, punk. Just monotonous, no future, want it, future. Call it, chant it, sloganize. The same old song sang so long by one of B. Oliver's pleading for more. Hit head, bang wall, said it once, heard it before. Imagine silence, no old chants, no old chants. Quiet, shush, peacefulness, a world free of wanting much from everyone who settle only for this. Hit head, bang wall. What is all this shouting for? Our music, our tune, a future, want it, future, want it. Scrawled on paper, scrawled on walls, the same old songs, still so strong, from you, from me, what we fight for. Sometimes success meets with failure. I advocated for a care package of £115,000 per annum for one person with a learning disability. His name was Milky. Milky didn't want his care package. He didn't want this money. This is called sitting on a pot of gold. Milky is as sad a soul as ever sat on a pot of gold. His expectations overruled by a fair assessment. Milky chose to sit things out, wait for winter first to fade, before giving social services time to see things his way. Sitting frozen to the spot, cold with fear at being left alone with no one, his friend today is only boredom. Who will give him what he wants? A local room with people in a house, something to do in daytime, somewhere safe for sleeping, not much to ask for. Milky, he called on the government. He called on government departments. He phoned a solicitor for support, but nobody ever listened to what he said. This is my life, he said. It's what I want. It's all I hold great store by. A safety net in case I faint, support workers I can put my trust in. Shared living, supported living, names granting hints of independence, a cultural change, an underfunded rage. Milky preferred the institutional option. But look at this, look at words and see a common solution. A room, a friend, support too, everything in an agreed package. hundreds of thousands put aside a pot of gold for independent living. The rainbow shines on Milky's road today, and Milky's sad old soul, he won't accept the giving of this pot of gold. Milky didn't understand the terminology. Me personally, I have a stammer, used to be a chronic stammer, comes and goes now. But the embarrassment of having a stammer, it kept me silent, but I'm not shutting up. This inspiration came from a film poster, not shutting up. What's the point of having a voice if you're going to be silent? Ask the blurb, as if the word is the only sign we listen for. What's the point of having laws if we are going to be silenced, unreliable, not viable, the judgment of legals, it has been said. What is the point of living life if the lives we live are discounted like Khalid, invalid in another Isle Barren's desert war? What's the point of assessments if there's not going to be any money on the table, if it's all Babel? Austerity, we're told, is over. What's the point of anything at all if nothing is what we're living for? It's more than blurb, our only words eking out some kind of survival. What's the point of being a poet if no audience turns up to listen? Be no choice, use loud advice, reach out beyond depression. This one's quite a lot like that. I think it's worth saying again, I am not shutting up. Insane asylums for the politically mad. How long can I go on raging about an issue that is fundamentally kaput, lost to losers, won by winners? How long before they say he's lost it, he's gone, psychologically real nuts, like a fruit loaf, a sandwich short? How long before they say why and what and wherefore? This makes no sense. Just keep on repeating and repeating. How long the same old shit that we stopped caring about politically when the council won by closing their ears to the words he kept on repeating? How long is the only one left shouting in the wind? Neighbourhood is getting uncomfortable, reminding us of something precious lost, no longer enactable. How long before questions turn to stones? Frustration, personally sick of hearing the same old shit he keeps repeating. How long before labelling, name-calling, dehumanising, calling to the clans for protection from this madman, going on and on and on and on? How long before another call for violence to have him put away, shot, quarantined, put away for the sake of silence, the cessation of his song? How long you'll be glad to hear now that finally this man, his song, the tree, your square, your hall, all gone as new dust meeting old dust, covering up our history. That poem was partly based on Holocaust Memorial Day, which outlines a path towards genocide, which is extreme exclusion that we knew in our own lifetimes. There are people that inspire. Malcolm X. I heard Malcolm X by Tackhead going around a 12-inch single, and on that 12-inch single Malcolm X said, "Sitting at the table doesn't make you a diner unless you eat some of what is on that plate." And that went around and around in my head, and I thought, what if Brother Milky was a disabled activist? Brother Milky eats his beans. Brother Milky wanted so much than to eat his beans. Brother Milky wanted to do so much more than dine. Brother Milky wanted to be able to get in. He wanted to get to a table. Brother Milky wanted to know what his choices were. Brother Milky didn't want to be harassed. He just wanted to use the fucking toilet. Brother Milky wanted to be a participant, a planner. He wanted to be involved. Brother Milky wanted to have a say in his own life. Brother Milky coolly wanted all those things denied him. Brother Milky rightfully wanted the right to eat. Brother Milky agitated. Brother Milky stirred. Brother Milky lifted. And Brother Milky then finally ate his beans. Well done, Brother Milky. And finally, activists must take rest at times. This is called the fire goes out and then it burns again. Raking over ashes to find the odd ember, pecking spitefully at fallen splinter groups. You think back to the time the fire was lit, the flame that flickered bright, and you wonder when impassioned. Did you shout loud enough? Did you chant slogans to the air? Was it all worthwhile? Did it all go up in smoke? Was water poured on petrol before the bonfire image from old Whitehall emits a warmer glow? You tried, you sought to make a difference. First in terms of peace, then later civil rights, equality, and through the burn of austerity, the incandescence of your rage, the gathering campfire of your peaceful, non-violent direct action. You puff, slow and gentle at that final ember, throw on paper, throw on twigs, the fire within you will burn again. Thank you.